If you cannot lead yourself, you cannot lead other people. Hello, and welcome to the Miners Podcast with the lady with the most amazing voice you have ever listened to. I share what you need to hear just the way you want to hear it while living life by the name Balkis Amzat. With the podcast, I am on a mission to help young people lead themselves, find what they have to get what they want, and live each day doing the project called life using what they have. And if you're all about living your passion and potentials on the journey to finding purpose, I am grateful to have your ears. And let's get started. There is a lot of things that we look at in life and we go through as young people, and many times we do not see as really, really troublesome. The end is where it all begins, and that is self leadership, the ability to actually allow yourself do the things that you need to do, take responsibility for your actions, set and pursue your personal goals. And here is a breakdown of what we are saying. You see, the success that you have, the failure that you will experience will rise and fall through self leadership. And here is what I am saying. We are saying that there is clarity of vision and goals. With self leadership, you are able to set clear, achievable goals, and you are more likely to have a sense of direction, have a sense of ownership, and have a sense of purpose when you go through the route of self leadership. It is also very important to understand that when you are able to have clarity on that single goal, on that single mission, on that single vision for yourself, life just gets more beautiful. It just gets easier because you are doing what needs to be done, and you are on that journey with yourself with clarity. It might not be clear, everything might not be clear at the beginning. However, you are on a path that is as easy as not so easy, right? And then the second thing is that there is self discipline and internal motivation. And what we are saying is that at the point of doing the things that you need to do, there are obstacles. When you're trying to achieve a long term objectives, there are blockers. But being able to lead yourself makes it extra easy for you to maintain the internal motivation that this is where I am going, and these are the things that I need to overcome, these are the hurdles I need to cross over in order to get there. And many times in life, it's not all about the brute strength and the brute force that we have. It's always about the softness in us, the patience that we are able to use to navigate certain situations. And there is also adaptability and learning. When you see yourself as a self leader, when you start to lead yourself, the one thing that never stops is learning. And the one thing that you need and that you see and that you have is the ability to adapt to situations, to mold yourself, to remold yourself, to learn, to unlearn, and to relearn at every point in time. So, this is one part that you must carefully not miss out on. Now, there is also the part of emotional intelligence. You are as intelligent as the way you react to people. You are as intelligent as the way you allow people's emotions also affect you. Self leadership is not just about managing your own emotion, but it is also understanding the impacts that it has on other people. And with high emotional intelligence, you are able to build better relationships and stress and make more rational decisions when you do the things that you want to. And with that, you are contributing to the growth that you want, to the rise of your life, to the success that you see. There is finally the part of integrity and accountability. A self leader never ever jokes with integrity and accountability. So when you're able to do the things that you say you need to do and you want to do, when you are able to practice integrity even when people are not there. You know, your character is that part of you that shows up when people are not in the room with you. And you want to understand that integrity is the bedrock, is the blood that carries nutrients to the brain of self leadership. And with this, you want to also be accountable for your actions so that you create the room for trust and respect from other people. Like I said, without leading yourself, you cannot lead other people, and which means that you are able to get more opportunities, more supporters, more peers, more mentors, and more leaders in your circle. What does it mean to say that The fall of anyone is also through self leadership. When you lack self leadership, it is very easy for you to go about life without direction. And that means that there is no clear goal, no clear vision. You are just struggling to find purpose. You're struggling to find direction. You are battling with stagnation. There is decline in your personal and professional life, which, in all honesty, is not supposed to be. If only you allow yourself lead yourself before trying to lead other people. And there is also that part where you think about poor self-discipline. Because when there is no direction, there is really nothing to actually keep on as your why. There is inconsistency in your efforts, procrastination, and inability to stay motivated. And then you get to miss opportunities, you underperform, and this will greatly contribute to your fall, either professionally or personally. Now, there is resistance to change. And I said this in my coming book, Walls to Bridges, that you need to stop resisting change. You need to learn to handle change. And you want to understand that inability to adapt and learn from experiences will lead you to resisting change and you become unprepared for new challenges. You are unable to capitalize on opportunities and you are definitely going to decline. So think about it when next you feel things are about to change and you start to think, no, I'm not going to do this. Now, the next is low emotional intelligence. There is a saying I love to keep in my mind for over the years, which says that your IQ will take you there, but your EQ will keep you there. And that is something I learned from Sir Victor Osadolo when I went for the mentorship in gathering, which says that courtesy, being humble, humility, your attitude, all of these things are part of emotional intelligence, which keeps you and helps you leverage your network. And you want to think about that. You want to understand the fact that your circle is important, either professionally or personally. And if you are unable to intelligently manage, to intelligently curate that particular spot, you are in for a very big trouble. It will lead to poor decision making, and the fall is just one step closer. And finally, there is lack of integrity and accountability. So this is like the one and opposite of everything we have talked about when you rise and when you fall. Because failing to take responsibility for your actions, lacking integrity, and not being able to stay accountable will lead to people lacking trust in you. And then no one gets to respect you, which will hinder, which will stop, which will block your professional and personal. And so you want to understand that. Self leadership is very critical in getting to the top of the pyramid or staying at the bottom. And so those who practice effective self leadership are more likely to rise because you're going to be setting clear goals, you have your clear vision, you are able to maintain your discipline, you're able to adapt to change, you're able to manage your emotions, and you are able to do things with a direction. See, without all of this, you are directionless, your efforts are being wasted, there is poor discipline, you're resistant to change, and you are damaging your relationships. And which means that you are not able to make the most out of life like you have promised yourself to. Remember, the most important thing is the promise that you have made to yourself. It's not just about the promise that you made to other people. And that's why I always say that it's all about leading yourself before trying to lead other people. Because in all honesty, they are only a part of the puzzle. You are the most important piece of this puzzle. But then, how do you, at any point, practice self leadership? What do you need to do? How do you need to act? Where do you need to start from? In the next episode of this podcast, we are going to discuss how to start to practice self leadership in small, simple ways that you might never have thought the key to starting with what you have and getting what you want out of life. And until next time, lead yourself before trying to lead others. Thank you for tuning in today, and I am grateful for having you here. The fastest way to access the tools and resources mentioned in this episode and get answers to your questions is to visit the website www.valuedom.com.ng. Thank you, and talk to you in a few days.